12 months, the good, the bad and the ugly. Now on BBC Two, some strong language and adult humour in Charlie Brooker's Pig and White.
Hello, I'm Charlie Brooker and you're watching Pig and White, a programme about things that happen when Honey Roast Prime Minister David Cameron inserted his penis into the mouth of a dead pig. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning. In April, there was no ignoring the forthcoming general election. As the election campaign began, Honey Roast Prime Minister David Cameron, seen here frequenting his local dead pig parlour, came in for some criticism. People were saying his heart wasn't in it, as he didn't want to serve 3 terms.
Terms are like shredded wheat. 2 are wonderful, 3 might just be too many.
I'm surprised he eats shredded wheat for breakfast. Don't know why, I just always pictured him getting stuck into some bacon. HRH Cam Sandwich was also accused of avoiding debate, which is something of a character trait, what with his weird habit of abruptly walking out of shot the nanosecond he's had enough of answering reporters' questions, and was making uncharacteristic campaign gaffes. He got a little too close to a farm animal for the first time in his life. He was photographed eating a hot dog with a knife and fork. Good to see him treating a pork product with all the respect it deserves. And on Sky News, he forgot which football team he pretends to support, accidentally naming a different team instead of his beloved Aston Villa.
Where you can support Man United, the Windies and Team GB all at the same time. Of course, I'd rather you supported West Ham.
West Ham? Why is he obsessed with ham? The Tories were delighted by Corbyn's victory and later in the year used their conference as an opportunity to try and seize the centre ground.
We are the builders.
Of course, the problem with straddling left and right is you end up in an awkward position, as this photo proved. The man of the moment was also on hand to only mildly gloat about the election results.
I don't know about you, but it only takes 2 words to cheer me up.
Pig's mouth? Sorry, couldn't help it.
Exit poll.
Oh, right, yeah. In September, Prime Minister David Cameron was accused of inserting his penis into the mouth of a dead pig. Can I have a glass of water, please? Yes, the Daily Mail printed extracts from a biography of David Cameron, alleging that while a student, he'd taken part in a bizarre initiation ceremony, during which he'd inserted his penis into the mouth of a dead pig, a statement I still can't believe I'm reading aloud on BBC television. Seriously, this is like dreaming while awake. For a while, the trad TV news couldn't quite bring itself to discuss the ins and outs of the pig face allegations, preferring to mince words.
The unauthorised biography includes allegations about Mr Cameron's student days, that he smoked cannabis and took part in a bizarre initiation ceremony.
There is a quite extraordinary account of David Cameron's sort of hijinks at university. A little bit more than hijinks, it has to be said.
We actually can't say some of the other things he's accused of doing on TV. We're going to have to leave it at that.
But in the alternative dimension of social media, it was Christmas Day in 3D, with pig joke piled upon pig joke like so much violated sausage meat. It didn't take long for the dam to burst, and the allegations soon defiled otherwise straight-laced morning debate shows.
You know, you've also got this issue of the Prime Minister putting his cock in a dead pig's mouth. I mean, how is that
okay, Dan, do you know what, mate? Right, 1, it's an allegation. 2, your choice of language in referring to that, I think, far goes beyond what is permitted at this time of the day. And at that point, really, you've forfeited any right to speak on this show, so bye-bye. What a waste of a call. Let's try another.
We've got Lewis on line 2.
Eventually, the nationwide chortling reached such a peak it was reported workplace productivity was suffering. But amidst the hilarity, some were wondering whether maybe, just maybe, the allegations weren't entirely reliable. For one thing, Cameron was denying it, and for another, the book had been co-authored by Tory donor Lord Ashcroft, who, by his own admission, had an axe to grind with Cameron. And it all boiled down to one rumour from one anonymous source. Could have been anyone, could have been Keith Lemon. It was a bit like a dirty protest, and people like me, who wanted it to be true just because it was so irresistibly funny, were the ones daubing someone else's shit up the cell walls of the collective unconscious. And it was working. It even amused loose women.
The funniest thing is that the British public see the possibility as entirely plausible, although it has put me off sausage for life.
The book's co-author and chronic smirker, Isabel Oakeshott, was all over the media defending the noble tradition of spreading uncorroborated rumours from a single potentially unreliable source.
Where's the evidence for the allegations that you make in the book, especially the ones about the dead pig?
Look, this is just a few paragraphs in the middle of a book which is some 200,000 words long.
Yeah, come on, guys. There's only a hint of pig f***ing in it.
Do you think the stuff about the pig is true?
We're not there to write a hagiography. There are some difficult things in there, and there are also plenty of extremely complimentary, flattering things about the Prime Minister in there as well.
Oh, what kind of compliments? Let me guess. He was the best dead pig's head the world has ever seen. To be honest, the whole thing left me particularly feeling a bit weirded out. You see, a few years ago, I wrote a drama for Channel 4 in which a fictional Prime Minister was blackmailed into having sex with a pig. And lots of things in that show played out much the same as they were now. There were people in newsrooms bemoaning the fact they couldn't run the story.
If we mentioned bestiality pre-watershed, Ofcom would be seriously pissed off.
Fuck Ofcom.
There were people making wisecracks on Twitter, even using some of the same hashtags. The vindictive stunt impacted cruelly on the people at the centre.
Nothing is going to happen.
It's already happening in their heads.
And the whole thing played out as a kind of national sport, bringing the nation to a standstill. At the end of Black Mirror, the PM's reputation survives intact, and a few months on, David Cameron doesn't seem to have suffered too much from his piggy scrape, although the mental image is still too powerful and amusing for some of his opponents to drop. The irony is the collective thunder chuckle overshadowed somewhat more pointed allegations in the book, which the Prime Minister also denied.
I think it's important that this allegation that he knew more about Lord Ashcroft's non-dom status than he had previously said he did, that's not lost in the more lurid and humorous allegations that many people are talking about.
Good point, Nicola. Let's hope no one lets that happen.
The Prime Minister's attitude to Scotland betrays the worst characteristics of his government. Arrogant, patrician, out of touch, pig-headed, some might say.
He f***ed a pig! He f***ed a pig! Or he didn't. Or he did! Or he didn't. Or he did! Or he didn't. Or he did! Oh, well, that's all we've got time for. I'll see you at some point next year. Till then, go away.
Russell Howard has met his dream girl. Now the nightmare begins as she meets the family. Stand by for a lush Christmas next on BBC Two.